Welcome back to Current Affairs 24/7. In this video, we cover the most important global reports, indexes and the organizations that release them, perfect for all competitive exams. Let's begin. Here is the first question. Which organization publishes the Emission Gap Report? A. World Bank. B. United Nations Environment Programme. C. Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Or D. International Energy Agency. Answer B. The Emission Gap Report is released every year by UNEP, tracking how far the world is from meeting emission reduction targets under the Paris Agreement. Next question is, which organization publishes the World Economic Outlook? A. World Bank. B. World Economic Forum. C. International Monetary Fund. Or D. Asian Development Bank. Answer C. The IMF releases the World Economic Outlook twice a year, analyzing global growth, inflation, trade, and financial trends. Third question is, which organization publishes the World Energy Outlook? A. World Bank. B. World Economic Forum. C. International Energy Agency. Or D. International Renewable Energy Agency. Answer C. The World Energy Outlook is released annually by the IEA. It provides detailed projections on global energy demand, supply, emissions, and transition pathways. Fourth question is, which organization releases the Global Gender Gap Report? A. World Economic Forum. B. United Nations Development Programme. C. International Labour Organization. Or D. UN Women. Answer A. The Global Gender Gap Report is published annually by WEF. It measures gender-based gaps in economic participation, education, health, and political empowerment across countries. Moving on. Which organization releases the Global TB Report? A. UN Development Programme. B. Global Health Council. C. World Bank. Or D. World Health Organization. Answer D. The Global TB Report is published annually by WHO. It tracks global tuberculosis burdens, treatment success, and country-wise progress. On to next question. Which organization releases the Human Development Report? A. World Bank. B. United Nations Development Programme. C. World Economic Forum. Or D. OECD. Answer B. The Human Development Report is released annually by UNDP. It introduces the Human Development Index, which measures a country's progress in health, education, and standard of living. Seventh question is, which organization releases the State of the Climate Report? A. World Meteorological Organization. B. United Nations Environment Programme. C. Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Or D. International Energy Agency. Answer A. The State of the Climate Report is released annually by WMO. It provides a comprehensive assessment of global climate indicators such as temperature rise, extreme weather events, sea level changes, and greenhouse gas concentrations. Next question is, which organization publishes the Global Drought Outlook? A. United Nations Environment Programme. B. Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. C. World Meteorological Organization. Or D. International Drought Center. Answer B. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development publishes the Global Drought Outlook, a report assessing global drought trends, their impacts under climate change, and policy measures for adaptation and resilience. Moving on. Which organization publishes the Global Financial Stability Report? A. World Bank. B. Bank for International Settlements. C. International Monetary Fund. Or D. Financial Stability Board. Answer C. The IMF publishes the Global Financial Stability Report twice a year. It analyzes global financial risks, vulnerabilities in banking and markets, and the overall stability of the international financial system. 10th question is, which organization publishes the World Drug Report? A. World Health Organization. B. Interpol. C. United Nations Human Rights Council. Or D. United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. Answer D. The World Drug Report is published annually by UNODC. It provides global data on drug production, trafficking, and consumption trends. On to next question. Which organization publishes the Sustainable Development Report? A. United Nations Environment Programme. B. World Economic Forum. C. Sustainable Development Solutions Network. Or D. UN Statistics Division. Answer C. The Sustainable Development Report is released annually by SDSN. It tracks global progress on the Sustainable Development Goals and includes the SDG Index, ranking countries on their performance across all 17 goals. 12th question is, which organization releases the State of Food and Agriculture? A. Food and Agriculture Organization. B. World Food Programme. C. International Fund for Agricultural Development. Or D. United Nations Environment Programme. Answer A. The State of Food and Agriculture is released annually by FAO. It provides an in-depth assessment of global food systems, agricultural productivity, rural development, and emerging challenges. 13th question is, which body publishes the Economic Survey of India? A. Ministry of Finance. B. Reserve Bank of India. C. Niti Aayog. Or D. Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Answer A. The Economic Survey of India is released annually by the Ministry of Finance, usually a day before the Union Budget. Moving on. Which body publishes the Financial Stability Report? A. Ministry of Finance. B. State Bank of India. C. Niti Aayog. Or D. Reserve Bank of India. Answer D. The Financial Stability Report is published biannually by the RBI. It assesses the health of India's financial system, including banking, NBFCs, market risks, macroeconomic stability, and stress test results. Next question is, which body publishes the Multidimensional Poverty Index in India? A. Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. B. Reserve Bank of India. C. National Statistical Office. Or D. Niti Aayog. Answer D. In India, the National Multidimensional Poverty Index is released by Niti Aayog, which adapts the global MPI methodology to Indian data. Next question is, which body publishes the Index of Industrial Production in India? A. Niti Aayog. B. National Statistical Office. C. Ministry of Finance. Or D. Reserve Bank of India. Answer B. The NSO releases the monthly IIP data, tracking industrial growth in manufacturing, mining, and electricity, an important indicator of India's economic activity. On to next question. Which body releases the India State of Forest Report? A. Forest Survey of India. B. Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. C. National Biodiversity Authority. Or D. Wildlife Institute of India. Answer A. The FSI publishes the India State of Forest Report biannually, providing data on forest cover, tree cover, carbon stock, and changes in India's green cover. 18th question is, which body publishes the State Energy Efficiency Index? A. Niti Aayog. B. Ministry of Power. C. Bureau of Energy Efficiency. Or D. Energy Efficiency Services Limited. Answer C. Bureau of Energy Efficiency releases the State Energy Efficiency Index annually, ranking states on energy-saving measures across buildings, industries, transport, and utilities. 19th question is, which organization releases the Global Innovation Index? A. World Bank. B. World Intellectual Property Organization. C. World Economic Forum. Or D. UNESCO. Answer B. WIPO publishes the Global Innovation Index each year, ranking countries on innovation capabilities, research strength, and technology outputs. Moving on. Which organization releases the Global Peace Index? A. United Nations. B. World Bank. C. Institute for Economics and Peace. Or D. UNESCO. Answer C. The IEP publishes the Global Peace Index annually, ranking countries based on safety, ongoing conflict, and militarization levels. Next question is, which organization publishes the Global Climate Risk Index? A. United Nations Environment Programme. B. World Meteorological Organization. C. Climate Action Network. Or D. German Watch. Answer D. Germanwatch releases the Global Climate Risk Index, analyzing countries most affected by extreme weather events such as floods, storms, and heat waves. On to next question. Which organization releases the Global Cybersecurity Index? A. Interpol. B. World Economic Forum. C. International Telecommunication Union. Or D. United Nations. Answer C. The ITU publishes the Global Cybersecurity Index, assessing countries' cybersecurity readiness, legal frameworks, and response capabilities. 23rd question is: which organization publishes the Energy Transition Index? A. World Economic Forum. B. International Energy Agency. C. World Bank. Or D. International Solar Alliance. Answer A. WEF publishes the Energy Transition Index, ranking countries on energy system performance and readiness for clean energy transition. Next question is: which organization publishes the Artificial Intelligence Preparedness Index? A. World Economic Forum. B. International Monetary Fund. C. World Bank. Or D. International Telecommunication Union. Answer B. The IMF releases the Artificial Intelligence Preparedness Index, evaluating how well countries can adopt and regulate AI based on data infrastructure, workforce skills, and economic readiness. Last question is: which organization releases the Travel and Tourism Development Index? A. World Economic Forum. B. World Tourism Organization. C. World Bank. Or D. United Nations. Answer A. WEF publishes the Travel and Tourism Development Index, assessing countries on tourism infrastructure, sustainability, travel readiness, and overall sector development. Answer this bonus question in the comments. That's it for today's video. If you found these MCQs helpful, you can watch our video on BRICS Summit to revise international affairs, or you can revise Ramsar sites added to the list in 2025 to keep up with national affairs. Keep learning, keep revising, and I'll see you next time.